edge painter or sculptor or installation maker, they wouldn't be seen dead in the summer show. Now, that has really changed, hasn't it?
It has really changed. I mean, I think it had to, and I think the members realised it had to change, and very, very slowly it has. And I think what's very interesting about the summer exhibition is something that the public don't always appreciate, is that we have this changing committee every year, so we're getting new blood, new members in every year with new ideas. And you know, the question, why did the video art happen this year? It's because we had Richard Wilson.
There is some fabulous work, but I mean, like, there's a great big Nicola Hicks bear, a fantastic sculpture of a bear, and it's just lost in this like cacophony of colour and sound and everything.
I think it's being attacked by Damien Hirst, St Bartholomew, armed with a scalpel.
I think the Damien Hirst is very flashy and showy, and it's absolutely right the way that it's positioned. It looks amazing.
Yeah.
It's a real piece of theatre, and that's what you want in an exhibition like this. You want to go from room to room as if you're in a play, and it's, you know, speaking to you. But unfortunately, there are corners where you think, get me a large gin and tonic.
Tell me, is there a thing that you would like to take home?
If there's one piece I really liked, it was by Will Alsop, the architect. There's a painting by Alsop in here which is witty, humorous, and executed with his tongue in his cheek.
We'll put a sticker on it on your behalf. Janet, what would you pick?
Definitely the Tracy Ullman painting. I want that feeling back, and I want it again. It's a mouse, and it's fabulous.
Edith, are you allowed?
I don't know if I'm allowed.
There's
an awful lot I like, but I think the piece that I've stood in front of for the longest period of time has been the Anselm Kiefer, which is absolutely wonderful.
Fantastic.
So if my house was strong enough and I had the wherewithal, that would be the piece I'd go for.
Very good investment. Personally, I would take the Damien Hirst, and it'd be straight on consignment to Sotheby's. Anyway, thank you, Janet Street-Porter, Stephen Bailey and Edith Devaney. Now, while we've been chatting, Lauren has been inside the party to see if she can find out who's been buying what and whether they're putting it on expenses. Here she is.
Yes, lucky me, here I am inside the party with none other than the President of the Royal Academy, Sir Nicholas Grimshaw. Now, Sir Nicholas, this is actually the quietest bit, I think. There's a merry throng in here tonight. You must be over the moon.
We're absolutely thrilled. The place is packed out, and we've got people buying things like mad, which we're always very happy about.
Do you think this is kind of a really an unintimidating environment for people to come and buy art?
Well,
who maybe wouldn't otherwise.
Yeah, I think it is, and they do buy it, and you know, the cash registers are roaring away in there. Of course, things like prints, where they're in multiples, you can get for a really, you know, good price.
What are we doing tonight? Are we shopping? Are we just looking? What's happening?
I have a present in mind for Nathan.
Nathan, tell the viewers.
Well, it's a Tracy Ullman print. That's all I can tell you.
What about Damien's St Bartholomew? Is he gone yet?
I don't know if it's even for sale, but I think it's solid silver. So
I did check. I couldn't see a little sticker on it, so maybe that hasn't gone yet.
Woo! Keep on trucking, Lauren.
No, I'm working.
So am I, working it.
So there's something you love in here, Sir Nicholas. What is it?
It's this Bert Irwin here.
Okay.
I just think it's a wonderful picture. I actually took it home and put it up in my living room to see, because I loved it so much.
Can you do that? Is that one of the perks of the job? I'm just borrowing this.
I just thought it was, but it's so powerful that, you know, the room's just not big enough.
Talk me through why you love this piece, Beth.
I'll tell you why. It's because I love how serious people are willing to take art, except for artists. It's never as serious, really, like high art folk who like study it forever. They always take it way more seriously than the artist does. Where's the book? We should look up how much it is.
Now, it may not be quite so notorious as the Turner Prize, but the Charles Wollaston Award has been a feature at the summer exhibition for over 30 years. It's presented to the artist who creates the most distinguished work in the exhibition and is worth £25,000 to the winner. Andrew and I were invited to sit in as the judges this year made their decision.
The judges of this year's Wollaston Award are art writer John McEwan, academicians Anne Christopher and Tom Phillips, and artist Cornelia Parker.
I mean, there is a lot of prize money at stake.
Well, it's as much as the Turner Prize, which I think a lot of people don't know that.
Of the 1,200 works in the exhibition, the judges have selected 6 to be considered for the £25,000 prize. First up for discussion is architect Renzo Piano's wooden model for a roof.
It's kind of a minimal piece, isn't it? From this great man who worked, I think, with Didn't he work on the Pompidou Centre
did.
with Rogers? He's famous for that ecological bias to his work, that he wants to create buildings that will somehow relate to the landscape. And apparently this is for California.
Very rarely does an architect win anything here because they're so opaque and very difficult to read.
May I raise the point of size?
The spectre in the room. Yes.
I think the Wollaston Prize should go to a showstopper.
Well, the prize is for most distinguished work.
Yes, I don't think it's the most distinguished work, in my opinion. But
Second on the list is an overtly political work, a wooden sculpture by Michael.
I think we've got some fairly obvious allusions to the current conflict in Iraq. In fact, the title tells us that, Iraq, the sound of your silence. So what do you make of it?
On the one hand, it's a message, obviously, that I agree with, but I kind of think it's something, don't we all agree with it?
You mean, yes, torture and interrogation are bad, and you could see that it was powerful, or you could take the view that it's rather clunkingly stating the obvious and forcing it down your throat.
for me, Michael should win the prize because it seems to me to uphold all the great traditions of this academy. And I think in this very politicised moment, it would be a very good thing for the academy. I think it would get a lot of people talking.
I'd like to think that we were giving the prize for something that really made some kind of amazing statement about the world, but that's not it.
So, Anselm Kiefer, I think this is quite a coup for the Royal Academy to have an artist of Kiefer's stature.
Next up is one of the star pieces of this year's show, the Big Triptych by Anselm Kiefer.
This is another one of his, I think, metaphors for the tangled web of contemporary world politics with these thorn bushes in a barren landscape. So this tower shape can refer to Babylon and Babel, but it also refers to the Twin Towers. So contemporary politics, old politics.
It's darkly beautiful, for sure.
Anselm Kiefer is one of the most brilliant artists of our time. I think
I would agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Not me.
not you,
Sorry.
because you prefer my...
I like his earlier work. I just feel in that particular piece that somehow it's, I don't know, overwrought for me. It's not one of his best, I don't think.
The fourth shortlisted work is the pair of photographs by Peter Gutchow hanging in the sculpture room.
When you look at them closer, there's something kind of wrong. And I think that they're not actually... I mean, this is what I like about them, is that they're not actually real places. I think they're artificial photographs, because here we've got a little lurking palm tree, and there's a factory chimney. But then if you look over here, those are the minarets of mosques.
For me, they are two of the most stunning black and white, curious images.
I like them very much. I didn't know the work, and I think it's very nice to be judging a big competition and talking about people you've never heard of yourself.
Next on the shortlist, a painting by academician Mick Moon.